Ross, welcome and thank you for taking the time to chat with us today. Motorsport is such a unique and exciting field, and you've been such a trailblazer for Botswana. Let's dive into your incredible journey.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's great to be here, and it's great to tell you guys my story and the journey of where I've come from. It started at a very young age of getting on a bike at the tender age of 4 years old, and thanks to my family. My family was a big part of it, and growing up in Jwaneng, it was very much a family sport. My sister rode and I rode and my dad rode, and my mom was always around the training and the practicing, and it started off as for fun and ended up being a lifelong dream. It has been an incredible journey for myself and my entire family and everybody that supported us, and it's been an amazing trip. Obviously starting at a young age, we're doing it for fun and just enjoying being on the bike and being in the great outdoors, and I'm very grateful to my family for giving me that opportunity. And from there it led on to some exciting times, starting my first race at 5 years old, and traveling the whole of Southern Africa racing bikes was an incredible start to a long journey.
What inspired you to pursue it as a career, especially coming from Botswana, where motorsport or Botswana off-road racing isn't a mainstream?
Yeah, it was, for us in Jwaneng, it was everything. I couldn't wait to get home from school and go and ride my motorbike and go and spend time with my family, which everybody wants to do. I loved every second of it. And, from the time I was 5 years old, obviously I was addicted to the sport, and I watched it on TV and I watched all the results unfold, and I was really happy, and with the help of my mom, of course, I put a note on my door saying that I would like to be a world champion, and I believe I'm going to be a world champion. And from there it became real that this is what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, and there's not many kids at that age that can say that that's what they want to do and a dream that they're going to follow until it eventually becomes a reality. So yeah, it was tough. It's not easy being like one of the only riders in Jwaneng and having the time and trying to push yourself to the maximum limit when you're by yourself is really tough. So it was tough. It was a long journey, but I loved every second of it, and Jwaneng, I'm really grateful for the town. We used to have people that would come out and watch every afternoon, come out and watch us ride and do our thing, which was incredible. And afterwards have dinner at the track, which was a dream come true. And I think it's a childhood that I'll never ever be able to change, and I love it. It was something that I'm so happy about and really, really proud that I grew up in such a beautiful place. So yeah, from there it led into becoming a reality of what I wanted to do and become an athlete and become a sportsman. And like you say, motorsport in Botswana is not a mainstream sport, but anything's changeable, and I wanted to go out there and show everybody around the world that Botswana has some of the best riders in the world. So we set along that path and wanted to go and show the world what we're made of.
Yeah. And an interesting story, you said at the age of 13 you moved to Germany to pursue this. What led to that decision?
At the age of 13, I think every parent's worst nightmare is your son coming to say that they want to leave school. So it was a family decision. My parents had everything in place. They said to me, okay, we're going to back you, we're going to follow you. You got this once in a lifetime opportunity to go and race for one of the best teams in the world, and that was moving to Germany at such a young age, and it was difficult for them, losing a son basically, because I'm going to the other side of the world, and a very tough decision, because at that time it wasn't normal to leave school and to just pack up everything and move across the world on a whim. I had a 3-month contract where I wanted to go and give it my best shot. And my parents said to me, okay, they're gonna back my decision. They're gonna help me as long as I have something to fall back on after racing. That was a huge decision for them. And the only other thing I wanted to do after racing was become a pilot. So I went to a flying school and asked them what they needed. And they said, no, you don't need to finish school to become a pilot. You need to do homeschooling, you need to have a certain level of education. And I'd passed that level, and I was doing homeschooling when I was going to go to Europe anyway. So it was all systems go, it was probably one of the hardest days in my life, saying goodbye to my whole family. And it was really tough to get on an aeroplane and go across to the world and start a journey that I had no idea what was going to happen. The only other country I'd ever visited was South Africa and Namibia, and now I'm flying across to a different continent. So it was extreme, but it was probably the best decision of my life. I had to grow up really quickly. I was a 13-year-old living in my own apartment and had to learn the everyday, hassles that my parents used to do for me. And it was an incredible time, hard for sure, but nothing comes easy, and I knew what I wanted. I knew what it was going to take to get there. And I just trucked along and kept on following my dream.
Interesting personal story, Ross. You have had some remarkable achievements throughout your career, from representing Botswana on the global stage to competing in the Dakar Rally. Which milestone stands out the most for you, and why?
There's so many milestones in this career. Racing motorbikes is really dangerous. It's a hard career, and there's not many people from our part of the world that do it as a career. So there's so many milestones, from winning my first Botswana National Motocross Championship to winning the All African Championship a couple of times. To be the best rider in Africa was already a dream come true for me. I flew our flag. I went and showed everybody that Botswana's got some of the best riders in Africa, and that we need to bring the focus here and have a look. We've got a lot of talent sitting right on our doorstep. So for me to win the All African Champs was huge. And then obviously, later on in life, when I started going towards the Dakar, to get to the start line already was such a big feat. We had to raise over $1 million pula just to get there. So, without my wife, it would never have been possible. It was back to a family affair again. We had to go and add everything we could together. We had to take loans from people that trusted us that we were going to make this happen. And we had to go to the Dakar with everything we had. So getting to that start line was amazing. To get to the finish line was another, big step for me. And, winning a stage at Dakar was another dream come true. So there's so many, parts of my career that are so different, and that means so many different things in so many different ways. But, to show that you're excelling at what you wanted to do, and you're getting a little bit closer to that step and that dream of you've had since a little kid, was all just a great gain for me, and just gave me more and more confidence to show that I'm going to be the best. I'm going to get to where I want to go to, and there's going to be some ups and downs. There's some hills. It's not all flat, but I just kept on pushing, and I'm so grateful that I had the people around me, and that I still have the people around me that follow my dreams, and that means the world to them as well. So I'm really grateful and really happy.
Interesting. What did it feel like to bring so much pride to Botswana as one of the few African riders competing at such high level?
It's a great question, and what people don't know is how much pride Botswana has given me. It's not the other way around, and I'm so grateful to be a citizen of one of the best countries and one of the most beautiful countries in the world. We've got everything we need here. We've got such a beautiful scenery up north. We've got some amazing places in the center of the country. We've got amazing hospitality. Our community loves all our visitors. They love foreigners. They love, showing people how much of a beautiful country we have. So I was really grateful just to be a part of the country, and then to go and fly the flag was really emotional. And to bring pride to an entire nation was incredible. Racing is not all about winning. It's about how you feel and how you make others feel. And I knew that getting some good results with the Botswana flag on my shoulder was huge, not only for me, but the entire nation. And I'm so grateful that I had that opportunity to be the best and to give the nation what they deserve, and is to be the best in the world. And for me, it was a huge, just an appreciation to show the country that I really appreciate what everybody's done for me, and this is my little bit of giving back to them.
Ross, motorsport is demanding and relentless. How do you keep yourself motivated and maintain your passion for the sport, especially with the challenges you've had over the years?
Yeah, motivation is not very difficult. It's easy to stay motivated when you've got an entire nation backing you and pushing you and wanting you to win. I must say I'm really grateful our nation, even on the bad days, are so supportive and so, backing, and they really push me to be the best I possibly can. And I wake up every morning knowing that, and I've got a family that has given everything they can to help me be the best I can. So motivation is there every single day of my life. To go and participate in these rallies is really difficult. You leave everybody at home, you go there alone, and you've just got your team behind you, and it's really difficult to go international. And on the good days it's easy to be happy, but on the bad days it's really hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So you got to be so mentally focused on the job at hand, and you got to be so mentally focused on your goals and your dreams and your determination of where you want to be, that even on the bad days you've got to pick yourself up and get over them. No matter how bad they are, anything is better, so you can get up and wake up in the morning and say, okay, today we're going to do it. Yesterday was not our good day, but let's forget about it. Let's go for it. So you have to be so mentally strong, but I'm really proud to say that I've got a circle of people around me that help me get over everything that I need to get over, and that push me in the right direction, that are there for me through the thick and thin. And I think that's a really big point for me in my career, to keep on going, to keep motivated, and to keep pushing.
Do you have any routines or habits that keep you grounded?
I've got a couple of little habits. It's not really a habit, or it doesn't really matter if I do it or if I don't do it. But there's a certain amount of gratitude that I have for what I do. So I have to wake up every morning, and being at home and waking up, and you go outside and you stand on the grass and there's fresh air, and you've got everything that you want around you, and you've got people sending you messages at 5 o'clock in the morning just saying good morning, how are you? It shows that there's so much going on for you, and there's so much in your life that's going well. So it's if I don't wake up and I don't feel grateful, it's definitely puts you in a bad mood, and you definitely don't have a good day. So I'd say that I keep that habit, and I wake up every morning just being grateful for what I do, and for what I can bring to the country is a huge thing. We have people going to war for our country, and they give so much. So the little bit that I can give and bring back and bring back some awards and some results to the country is my way of giving back and showing people that I'm really grateful, and I give it my best shot, not for myself, but everybody that supports me. So I'd say that I wake up every day grateful, that's for sure.
Carrying the Botswana flag can come with a lot of pressure. How do you offload that and focus?
It comes with a pressure, but it's not a bad pressure. Like I said before, I think we have a really amazing nation, and everybody comes together. People don't believe so much that sport brings a nation together, but I've seen that firsthand. I've seen that what I've done has brought a nation together. Everybody stands together through sports. They put all the problems out the world, and we've seen that with myself. We've seen that with Letsile, what he's done for the country in athletics, and I can see from both sides that it brings an entire nation together. So although there's a pressure because you want to do the best you can for yourself and for your country, nobody really shows you the bad side of the sport. So when you do have a bad day, we've got an entire nation that's there to pick you up, and I think we're really lucky to have that. Some other nationalities are not so friendly about a bad result, whereas Botswana is, don't worry, we're going to get them next time. This is just one race, we've got another race coming up, and with the current position that I've been in, being injured from Dakar, I've seen that firsthand, and hundreds of messages of upliftment, and not hundreds of messages of saying, oh, you were good, you're not good anymore. So I think the pressure that comes from flying the flag is good pressure as well. It helps us get over our bad days. It helps us pick ourselves up from a bad situation, or it helps us get up from a crash. So yeah, I think although you put enough pressure on yourself to say you don't want to let the nation down, the nation is there to pick you up again, and I'm really grateful to everybody in this country for picking me up.
Yeah, just a quick one. A down moment. Have you had that moment where you just wanted to give up?
For sure. I don't think there's an athlete in this world that can tell you that they've had a moment where they've never been down. I don't think that's possible in what we do. We've got so many so many activities, we've got so much to do. We've got, our fitness, we've got mental health, we've got everything. Me personally hasn't been able to have a Christmas or a New Year for 7 years because of the Dakar. So we put everything we have into it, and obviously you're gonna get your down days. Every time I climb on my motorcycle, I want to win. I want to go out and win, and everybody that supports me wants me to win as well. So when you don't win, you have those down days. If you crash and you're injured and you exit the biggest race in the world, and everybody's watching, you've got millions of viewers watching you leave in a helicopter and not leave with the number one, that's heartbreaking. It's disappointment that I'll never be able to describe. I'll never be able to tell you guys how it feels, because unless you've done it, you'll never be able to get those feelings. And it is an emotional roller coaster for sure. But like I say, this happens. We are athletes, we're not going to win every single time, and the down days is where you've got to be better than the next guy, and the down days is where you've got to pick yourself up, get back on your feet, dust yourself off, and get going and work harder. So there's been a lot of down days, and especially now in the recent future, starting 2025 with a crash and ending up in a helicopter in a hospital was not the ideal way to go, and it's not what we wanted, but it is what we do. It's a sport of danger, but we just got to pick ourselves up and go for it, and get better quickly so we can get back on the bike and get back to where we were.
You have had your fair shares of injuries, especially speaking of the Dakar rally that just passed. You had to drop out of the race at stage 6 because of an injury. How have you recovered physically and mentally?
It's a really good question. I don't think there's many people that understand what goes into a recovery of an athlete mentally. Physically it's good. You can see somebody's got a broken bone and they're recovering, but mentally it's super tough. It's really hard to bring yourself back to a position where you went in as a favorite, you went in as the best rider in the world, you went in as a world champion. Everyone's expecting you to win, and you crashed out at stage 6 and you ended up in a hospital and coming back with not the happiness you wanted to come back with what the plan was. And physically I'm recovering really well. I've got a good set of doctors and medical personnel that I work with on a daily basis, and Michelle Scott is instrumental to my recovery, and she helps me every single day, which is amazing. And it's important, you've got to get fit and healthy as quick as you can. We still got a whole year ahead of us, and we've got to get back on the bike. Unfortunately, with our sport does come injuries, and it's just how you deal with those injuries that'll bring you back quicker. You could be the guy that just sits down and says, okay, I'm going to wait until I'm fixed up, or you could be the guy that gets up and goes and tries a little bit more every day. I wasn't supposed to be in a gym for a couple of weeks, and yesterday was day 14 or 15 after the crash, and I was back in the gym. So it just depends on how you deal with the downside of our sport. And I want to come back. I want to get back on the bike, and there's lots of exciting times, and there's a lot of exciting futures coming up. So yeah, I think I'm feeling good, feeling strong, and ready to give it a go again. Round 2 is just around the corner, and we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, but Ross, as you might have noticed, you are a role model for so many. How do you personally define success? Is it about the trophies, the journey, or something more?
Success for me is what you believe in yourself. And living a dream. It doesn't matter what your dream is. Every dream is different. If you dream to be at the top of your game by this age and you're not there, but you keep on fighting and you keep on going until you get there, that's successful. Whether it comes with a big paycheck at the end of the month or whether it comes with nothing. If you believe and you want to be there, and you've gone and you've given your whole life to be in that position and you've got there, that's extremely successful. Not all of us were put on this earth to be doctors or to be lawyers or to be a president of a country. We all put on this earth to do different things. And if you believe in yourself and you chase your own goals and your own dreams, and you get to where you're happy, where you can sit down at night and be like, I've got what I wanted, I've got my dream, that's been successful. Obviously, you can see there's trophies, and there's a lot of memories behind me that will last a lifetime, and I'm so grateful that I have those. But for me, winning a world championship was my dream since I was 5 years old, and that came true a couple of months ago. So for me, it was a dream come true, and it was success for me. It hasn't been successful because I still want to go and add in the full part by winning the Dakar Rally, and that's still my dream and my goal. So, you know, everybody is different in their own success story, and for me, success is when you reach your goals and your limits and your everyday passion for life is being successful. So, yeah, it's a really good question, and it's very close to my heart. But yeah. I'm not there yet. I'm not successful yet. I still got a little way to go.
What's been the most rewarding part of your career?
You know, I think for me personally, and it was an extremely emotional race. For me, having our national anthem played while we were sitting on the top of the podium was one of the most incredible feelings of my life. You know, that's something you work towards as an athlete. You want to be there. You watch everybody on TV, and you watch your national anthem being played, and you watch somebody standing on the top of the podium with a Botswana flag around their neck, and that's what you want to be. That's your dream, you know. And for me, it's happened a couple of times now where I've been able to stand on the top step of the podium with my Botswana flag and our national anthem playing, and it's an incredible feeling. It's one that you know, no money in the world will ever be able to replace. And I'm just grateful that it has happened, and that whatever happens after racing, you know, once I retire, that I'll never have a regret that I haven't been onto the top of the podium with our national anthem playing. So I think that means a lot to me, and that is very close to my heart.
You ended the year on a high note last year, world champion last year. Talk to that award. How did it make you feel? And just during the race, leading to the win at the finish, and then celebrating it during the gala dinner where you are awarded the trophy. Just talk to that.
It was an amazing feeling. You know, it's something that you work for your entire life, and not only you. It's there's definitely no I in this team. You know, there's a team of people that have put everything they have into the sport, into me, into getting me to races that we couldn't afford to go to being there through the thick and the thin, through the bad, through the injuries, through the good times, through winning, through losing. And you know, to finally get there. I got there in October last year, and it's a race that I'll never forget. We were leading the championship. It was very close between me and second place, an American, and it was just fate, and it was just how things happen. You know, Letsile's biggest competitor at the Olympics was an American guy, so it was Botswana versus America. So day 2 on our rally was people coming to us and say, oh, here we go, we got a, now we've got a rematch, we've got a Botswana and American, so here we go, who's gonna win, you know? So it all adds pressure to you, but it was amazing, you know. It's something that you work for your whole entire life. Unfortunately, the American crashed out close to the end of the rally, so it was a little bit of pressure off myself to get the win at the end of the day. But the last stage I was in emotional wreck. You know, it's something you work for your whole life, and I was going the last 100 Ks crying and just like, I've got this. This is what I've got. This is what I worked for my whole entire life. We finally here. And then I'd hit something, and I'd be like, you got to concentrate. You know, it's not there. You haven't got there yet. It's still a little way away. And to see my family at the finish line was a feeling that I'll never forget. And you know, the whole entire paddock was in tears when I won. So it had a feeling, and it had a meaning so deep inside that no one can ever explain. And it was just like, this is it. We finally got our dream, what we've been chasing, what we've been working for. You know, the bad times, the good times all add up to this, and to get that at the end of the year was incredible. And then to get on a plane and go to Spain, and you know, people welcome you like a world champion. It was just like, it was different. You know, I had a car waiting for me. I'm like, wow, this is something that I've never had before. And yeah, you know, we got a limo ride from the airport to where the ceremony was, and it was really fantastic. And just that feeling of getting your whole life in 1 hour, somebody giving you a small trophy to show that you're the world champion meant so much to me, and was really a feeling of a lifetime. So really grateful.
You've proven that it's possible to excel, even coming from a small country like Botswana. What advice would you give young athletes who dream of making it big in their chosen field?
You know, we don't have any limits. You know, We don't have any restriction. We might be from a small country. There might only be a couple of million of us in Botswana, but there's no limits. You can do whatever you want to do. We've got so much talent in this country, whether it's from athletics, chess, anything. You put your name to it, we can do it. And I'm a full believer in that. And never give up on your dreams. It doesn't matter what your dream is. If your dream is to become a Botswana champion, go for it. Live your dreams. Get a Botswana champion. If you want to be world champion, never give up. We've got a country now that is so backing and so supportive of all their athletes, and they want so many more world champions. They don't want it to stop here. Everybody had an amazing year in 2024. Everyone was so happy. If you look at the reception of the athletes that came back from the Olympics, it was something we've never seen before. We filled up the whole soccer stadium, which was absolutely amazing. So, as a young athlete, and I'd like to encourage them to follow their dreams. Sports just used to be looked at as a game. Now sports is a life. So many people look at it and be like, okay, you're a sportsman. What are you going to do? What is your real job going to be? But now you're a sportsman. That's your real job. That's what you got to go do. You go work just as hard. You go to the gym every day. You go and you do all your training. You go to, you give up on the good weekend away and you give up on the holidays here because you need to get in the gym and you need to be stronger than the person next to you. You need to just remember what it means to yourself. Remember what it means to your family. Never forget your roots. Your roots is where you grow, and that's what people are going to remember for the rest of their lives, for the rest of your life. And just give it your all. Be proud of what you do. Be an ambassador for our country, like you would like to look at other people. Just remember to be that person, and remember to fly the flag as high as you can. And remember that the world is not such a big place, and it's easy to put Botswana on the map. So we need to do that.
Yeah. Ross, what do you believe is the most important quality an athlete should have to succeed?
I think athletes need to have open minds. Life as an athlete is extremely difficult. A lot of people watching from the outside will see life as an athlete as this, so much fun. You're always on TV, you're always here, but what TV doesn't show and what a lot of shows don't put across is the bad times of an athlete's life. We all get to the finish line, and there's a winner and then there's a loser, and the days that you're a loser are extremely hard. The days that you're a winner, nobody's ever going to forget because everybody's there to celebrate with you and take you to the top of the podium. But the day that you lose, people kind of forget about you. So as an athlete, it's really tough to be in that position, and I think now we just need to all be together. We need to live the best we can as athletes, and we need to just never give up. I think that's the main thing for us, is just keep on following your dreams and get to the top.
You've inspired countless people, not just in Botswana, but across the globe. What impact do you hope to leave behind as both an athlete and a person?
I really hope I've inspired people. It's been my dream to inspire people and be the one that the next motorsport rider, the next athlete will look up to and say, I want to be like that. I want to go and I want to live his life. And I really hope that I've inspired people, and not only in the athlete side. I really hope that I inspire people to chase their dreams. You don't need to be an athlete to dream. Every person has that right to dream of whatever they want. It's just how you're going to go out and get it is what changes you from the next person. And to have inspired anybody is a dream come true already. To have given an opportunity to somebody that didn't have an opportunity is another dream come true. Me being from Botswana, but also on a Southern African side, it's opened the doors in the motorsport community to better jobs, to go and race the world championship, and for me to give that opportunity to somebody has been a dream come true. So I would like to just be known as Ross, the guy that went out, chased his dreams, whatever the result, whatever the comeback is. We've got a great nation, we've got people that love us, we've got people that support us. We have no reason to fail at what we're doing, and nobody does. We've just got to go out there. So the day that I leave the earth, or the day that I retire racing, I just want people to know me as Ross, and I'm a normal person. I'm like everybody else. We've got different dreams, and I followed my dreams. So I think the one thing I just want to leave behind is follow your dreams and never give up on whatever your dreams may be and whatever your goals are. Just never give up, because it is possible. It is definitely possible. And I think sitting here in this chair, being from Jwaneng can show you that it's possible and that we can do anything as humans.
Very inspirational and motivational words, Ross. What's next for us? The next race, talk to that. What should we expect?
Yeah, we still got a long 2025. Last year was amazing. This year didn't start off as we wanted to, but it still started off well. We're still on the start line at the Dakar Rally. We're still one of the favorites to win the rally. We're still in the top 5 the entire rally. So there's a lot of positives. It's not just the negative of crashing and coming home, but we still got a long way to go. We still got another couple of rounds of the World Championship, and I'm starting off on the back foot for sure. I didn't score any points at the Dakar Rally, but we still got another couple of rounds, and one round being right on our neighbour's doorstep in South Africa is a round that I'm definitely going to try and to win and get the maximum points and put myself back into the World Championship hunt. It's not over yet, definitely not. It's only the beginning, and I'm looking forward to it. We go to round 2 soon. In the next 2 weeks, we leave for Abu Dhabi for round 2. And I'm excited, feeling good enough to go and race and give it my best shot. So yeah, we just got to make sure that we stay healthy, that we listen to the doctor's orders, and we keep on pushing in the right direction. But yeah, we've got a great 2025, and I think Botswana's still got a lot of hope for the rest of the year, and we're still in the title chase. We still want to get another World Championship to bring home, so we're going to give it our all.
Yeah, Ross, it's been an absolute pleasure hearing your story. Thank you so much for sharing your journey and insights with us. Do you have any final words for fans, supporters, aspiring athletes watching today?
To you guys, firstly, a huge thank you. Without you guys, our story doesn't get put across, and hopefully we're motivating other people to go and live their dreams. And to all the fans, to the supporters, to everybody that's believed in me, I would just like to say a thank you. There's not enough words in this world that'll ever be able to thank the community enough. And to my family, the amount of work and the amount of things they've done for me to get me to where I want to be has been absolutely incredible, and I'm so grateful to them. And my sponsors and everybody that's been involved in my entire journey, I can't thank you guys. There's so many people that have played a huge role in my journey and in my road to becoming a world champion, and I can't thank them enough. To all my sponsors and to everybody that's believed in me, thank you, and to all the supporters, thank you very much. And here's a message to everybody to keep on supporting our athletes, and let's keep this going.
Thank you so much, Ross.
Thank you, guys.